Hi you guys, it's Jennifer. Welcome back to Busy Being Jen. In this video today, I'm going to show you what I eat in a day on a plant-based diet. Actually, I'm going to show you what I ate over the course of 3 days. So I hope you'll come along. Be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. So last week, I posted a video called How I Lost 30 Pounds and Kept It Off. And after that video, which I haven't linked in the space below, by the way, one of my viewers asked me if I would do a what I eat in a day video. And so I decided I would do that. And instead of just showing you what I eat in one day, I wanted to show you what I ate over the course of 3 days. Now, what I'm doing is linking the recipes that I show in this video. I'm linking them to a blog post that I have in the space below. So be sure to check that out because I'm not giving the actual recipes in this video. I'm just showing the food I ate. So the other thing I wanted to let you know is that I included some things that have recipes, but also some really simple things, because for me, if I have to prep every single thing that I eat, if there's a lot of chopping and cooking and all that kind of stuff for every single meal that I have in a day, there's just no way I'm going to stick to that. And so I included some really simple things, like something that just gets heated up for 30 seconds in the microwave and something, that just gets sliced open and then I eat it. So I wanted to include some really yummy recipes as well as some of these really easy things that make this diet doable for me as a lifestyle. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I am a plant-based eater, not a plant-only eater. Some people who follow a plant-based diet don't have any animal protein in their diet at all. I really found that was not going to work for me. And so what I do is I have a serving of meat once a week. I did not include any recipes that have meat in this because, you want to see what I eat that's plant-based. But another thing that I do is I will garnish things with cheese, like having a sprinkle of cheese on something. So there are a couple of recipes that I show you where I have put cheese on it, or I suggest how you could put cheese on it if you wanted to, but the recipes will taste absolutely fine even if you don't put it on there. So come along and let me show you what I ate over the course of 3 days on a plant-based diet. For breakfast on day 1, I had what is called an overnight quinoa cereal. This is just made with some cooked quinoa, uncooked oatmeal, uncooked chia seeds, some almond milk, a little bit of vanilla extract and maple syrup, and this is the real maple syrup, so not the kind that's mostly high fructose corn syrup. And you take that and put it in a jar, a mason jar, and mix it up and leave it overnight. And then in the morning you can eat it cold or you can heat it up. And then I put some thawed out frozen berries and pecans on the top. You could use any kind of nut on it, and it's really filling. I make a full jar, but usually a half a jar is all I need. A few hours later, I made myself a large smoothie. This is made with water, greens like kale or spinach, a banana for sweetness, and then 2 cups of whatever other kind of fruit you want to put in. I used mixed berries, and then after it was mixed up, I added in a tablespoon of chia seeds and a tablespoon of what is called hemp hearts. So they're basically hemp seeds, and I just stirred that in. For lunch, I had a salad. This is a bed of romaine lettuce, and on top of it there are white potatoes and artichokes that were kind of sauteed till they're a little bit crispy. There's also some sliced green olives and a sprinkle of feta cheese. You don't have to have that on there. And there's some sliced almonds on there as well, and a yummy dressing that I made with vegan mayo. You could use regular mayo, but I like to try to leave out the animal protein wherever I can. For dinner, I made tostadas. This is a mixture of corn, black beans, and shallots that are warmed up and put on top of toasted corn tortillas. I did put a sprinkle of cheese on top. Now, if you are 100% plant-based, you're not having any animal protein, this would taste perfectly fine with the cheese left off of it, but I just put a sprinkle on top, and then I also put salsa on top of that. Along with the tostadas, I made a big salad. Now, I did not eat this whole salad myself. My husband shared this with me, but this has cherry tomatoes, red bell peppers, and carrots, and that's on top of romaine lettuce. And then I mixed it all up and put on a dressing of balsamic vinaigrette. Day 2, I had the same thing for breakfast. I used the leftovers from the overnight quinoa. Day 2, I had another smoothie for a snack. I have a smoothie pretty much every day, just because when I make this, I know that I'm getting 2 servings of leafy greens and 3 fruits all in one smoothie, and that kind of helps me to meet my goal for the day of fruits and vegetables. Lunch on the second day, I used up some leftovers that I had in the fridge. I had some quinoa that I had cooked up for that overnight quinoa cereal, and so I used that and leftover salad from the night before. I put this inside a whole wheat pita to make a sandwich, so I put some quinoa in first, then I put in the salad, then I put some more quinoa on top of that and drizzled it with a balsamic vinaigrette, and it made a really nice filling sandwich. This is a really easy snack. It is simply Granny Smith apples and some peanut butter. For dinner that night, this is kind of a Mediterranean recipe. I took zucchini and cherry tomatoes and roasted them. I also took some garbanzo beans and tossed them in salt, pepper, and paprika, and I roasted those until they're kind of crispy. They're sort of chewy on the inside, but a little bit crispy on the outside. And those I put on top of a couscous that was cooked with vegetable stock, and then a little bit of lemon juice is added at the end. And then I put on a little sprinkle of green onions. You can also put a little sprinkle of feta cheese on top of it. That's really good, but of course, if you are not having any animal protein, you would just eliminate that and it would taste really good. This is a really tasty dessert. It is a chocolate banana ice cream, and it is made with bananas. So you freeze slices of bananas ahead of time, and then you put that in a food processor with some almond milk and cocoa powder and a little bit of vanilla extract, and just blend that up, and it makes this wonderful soft serve ice cream. You can kind of taste the banana, but it mostly just tastes like chocolate ice cream. Day 3, I was heading out the door for church and realized that I had not eaten breakfast, so I grabbed a couple of these Nature's Bakery fig bars. They are made with whole wheat flour. They're tasty. I guess this would kind of be considered a junk food, vegan kind of a thing, because the list of ingredients is kind of long and there is sugar in there, which I try to avoid, but this was just a quick and easy way of having breakfast. For lunch that day, we went out to eat with some friends after church, and we went to a Mexican food place. Mexican food is actually really easy to find plant-based options. This is not actually my lunch from that day. I borrowed this picture because I forgot to take a picture of it. But this is just black bean and vegetable enchiladas. There's enchilada sauce on top, and there is some cheese on there. And there was a side of rice and beans. I ate the beans and I ate a couple bites of the rice, but there was a lot of food, so I did not finish my lunch. So nothing fancy here for a snack. I just took the leftover garbanzo beans from dinner the night before and put some salt and pepper on it and just heated it up in the microwave, and it was actually quite tasty. But I think it's important not to have to cook every single thing you make, so sometimes I have things that are just really quick and easy and using up leftovers. Because we went out for lunch, I wasn't feeling terribly hungry for dinner. I had had the garbanzo beans as a snack a little bit earlier, but I realized that I had not really had a lot of fruits and vegetables. So I had my smoothie in the evening, and I just really like having the smoothies because it helps me to get 2 servings of vegetables and 3 servings of fruits. But let me give you a tip about having your smoothies or making smoothies. You can make them in batches and put them in the refrigerator and then just kind of shake them up and have them when you're ready to. If you make a smoothie in a NutriBullet as opposed to a blender, I just find that the consistency is kind of a little different. So I usually will make them in a blender if I'm gonna save them. And then also another thing you can do with smoothies is freeze them. You put it in a mason jar, leave about 1 inch of headroom at the top, and then freeze them, and then you can thaw them out and have them whenever you're ready to. Well, that is it. I hope for those of you who are either just starting out on plant-based diet, or maybe those of you who are contemplating starting a plant-based diet, hopefully that helped you to get some ideas for how to eat. And I will be doing more videos about following a plant-based diet. Let me know if there are particular topics that you would like me to cover, particular questions you have, and I'll be sure to put up some videos that have something to do with those things as well. Thank you so much for coming along on Busy Being Jen. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye-bye.